Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be here. I am Georgia Norton Lodge, also known as Georgia Draws a House, and welcome to Hire Well, Chill More. This is the creative guide to team building. 10 signs that you are in the right place right now. You've caught yourself Googling, I'd like some passive income. You've started to find your business a little bit monotonous. You work weekends, nights, and you don't want to. You've said to your friends, oh gosh, I think I should go back to my 9 to 5. You've got 1,000 ideas for expanding your biz in your head, but no time to execute them. You spend a considerable amount of time each week in admin land. You see other design studios around the world killing it, and you want in on that. You've considered hiring someone, but back down because they won't do it as good as you do it. And you think you don't make enough money to hire someone. The goal of this session is to show you that hiring a team is the best way to scale, in my humble opinion. To tell you what's involved in implementing it, there are a few different paths that you can go down, and to provide a safe space for asking questions because you don't know what you don't know. My name is Georgia. I'm 34. I'm mum to my daughter, Tilby. She's 3 and never slept a day in her life, and I'm openly chaotic. My business started in 2014 when my sister was writing her first ever book. She is an author and I was a designer. So she said to her publisher, I will write this book if my baby sister can design the cover. Some reason, somehow they agreed. And I was like, amazing, my first design job. I'm a freelancer. This is incredible. And then I realized I should have read the contract because it clearly stated this needs to be an illustrated cover. And at this point in my life, I had never drawn anything. So I freaked out, ripped up the contract and told my mum, I am not doing this job. Now, my mum is a crazy Greek lady. And she was like, you will do this job. You will figure it out. And I was like, oh my God, this is terrifying. So I stormed out of my mum's house. I had a tantrum. I stormed out and I started walking around the neighborhood. Now, this neighborhood is where I grew up, and it's also where my sister's book was based. This is literally how Georgia Draws a House started. I was like, what is the easiest thing to draw? Buildings. They're just lines that go this way, this way, this way, and that way. And I was like, okay, cool. I started drawing the buildings. I drew my primary school. I drew the cafe. I drew the local video shop, the local pub, the TAB, and eventually I drew my mother's home. When I looked at the drawing, I was like, oh my gosh, this is really, really cute. I almost got teary. And I went up to my mum's house. I knocked on the big red door and I was like, here, mama, here is a drawing of your home. Now, remember, I said my mum was a crazy Greek lady. So she was like, I love it. It's incredible. It's fantastic. And she put it in the Greekest, goldest frame you've ever seen in your life, right in the hallway. And I was like, fabulous. I don't want to be a web designer anymore. I'm an artist. I'm going to just do this forever. And then I remembered that your mum kind of has to love what you do. So I got off my high horse and I went back to my design job. And then my mum's friend came over. She saw the Greek gold frame and she was like, Donna, where did you get your house drawn? I've been looking for someone to do that my whole life. And my mum was like, I know the artist. She used to live in the front room. I'll get her to draw it for you. So I drew my mum's friend's home. Then I drew my mum's friend's uncle's home. Then I drew my mum's friend's uncle's dog's home. And Georgia Draws a House was born. I built a Squarespace website. I started an Instagram and the orders started coming flooding in. I was a designer by day and I moonlighted as an illustrator. And then at 2019, I realized I was making quite a bit of money from these house drawings and I hated my boss and I was really tired. So in my delirium, I picked up a spray can. This is this photo of me in a green dress here. And I drew the front of my house on the side of my parents' house. And 10 days later, the national newspaper found a photo of me in front of it. And they said, meet the 20-something-year-old saving for a house by drawing yours. My phone went off. Through my Squarespace website, I got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of orders and I quit my job the next day. I used that money to launch my own design agency, Soft Launch. This is in 2019. Circle to where we are now. I've just finished my first $1 million year. And I did that without working past 4:30 p.m. on Fridays or all summer. After welcoming my 900th student into my programs, into my Secret Artist Business program, I'm on a mission to teach other creatives, other designers, other illustrators, other web designers how to build businesses that make proper money without pulling their hair out. And I'm here to tell you the best way to do that is hiring a team. So here's a little graph that I made that kind of explains my life. Here I am in 2015, bored, working. In 2016, this is when I start really moonlighting as Georgia Draws a House as an illustrator. You can see these dots kind of all go in a straight line. Here, this is 2019 when I quit my 9 to 5, as I just said. I'd had some books published. I was building a brand. So people started to really recognize who I was. And then in 2020, this is when I built my team. So I quit my job, and the year after, I start building my team. I've always loved collaboration. I love people. I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to be a part of a team. So here, I built my team, and I want you to notice these pink dots that go up here. Boom, 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 boom. This is when my business truly started scaling. Here, I'm stuck at that 120K ceiling, which is where a lot of people get stuck. Most of my students come to me about 120, 150K. And then here in 2021, I had a baby, and I literally couldn't work, even if I wanted to. My baby was far too demanding. And like I said, this says Tilby is born. She still doesn't sleep. So I just stopped working summer, and I have never worked a summer again. I realized I didn't need to be there as much as I thought. That hustle that I was taught as a millennial to have, I didn't have to do that. How else could I take more time off, I thought? And I started building automations. From those automations, I stopped working Fridays, and I bought my first home. That's what this yellow one says. I have clients all around the world at this point. And here, because I have enough time, because at this point I have 4 employees, I built Secret Artist Business, my signature course. And this is where you can see the business really takes off. And I had my first 1 million year this year. Only working, by the way, 9 months, as in not all summer, and an entire month off in Greece with my entire family. Just so you know that there is proof to this. This is a big bragging page. So I'm sorry, I'm about to boast, but it's just so that you know that I'm not just someone talking at you with numbers. I'm a real person, and I've really done this. I've worked for Google, Apple, McDonald's, Canva, Lego, Uber. I have spoken on stages filled with hundreds of people. I have 4 books published. I have a team of 4 full-time designers. I made my first $1 million year in revenue. I launched a course that made more than $500,000 in under 2 years. I've automated heaps of my business. I've outsourced and absolutely hated it. I've outsourced and loved it. I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been on television, in newspapers, in magazines, and I have failed so many times. If you want to perv, I know you're all creatives and designers out here. If you want to perv at some of my web designs, these are some of my Squarespace websites. Softlaunch.com.au, that's my agency website. Secret Artist Business, that's my program. And Georgia Draws a House, that's my personal brand. Go have a look if you want to. So I'm going to show you what you need to build a team and prove to you that it's kind of the best way to go. If you like people, if you're a human that likes other people, a team is the best way to go. Building a team who can run the entire show without me. And today I'm going to just show you how to do the same. I want you to, give yourself a big, that's me, yell it if you feel like you would make any of these mistakes or you've already made any of these mistakes. So the first one is hiring full-time to begin. That's crazy. That's an insane thing to do. You just should not do that. Expecting someone to be the answer to all of your problems. No. Ignoring resume red flags. This is the biggest one. Or even just not even interviewing people at all. Hiring a skill that you don't have, so you can't teach. Boo-boo. Not giving someone the time to learn. Thinking that you're the best designer, you're the best developer. No. Waiting until you are less busy. That time is not coming for you. Believing your clients only love you, that they hire you just for you. Hello, ego. And I'm hiring the wrong role first, and thinking that hiring someone means less money and more chaos, because it doesn't. Hiring people means more money and less chaos. Well, it means more money and less chaos, not less money and more chaos. So what do you need to implement this? You actually don't need a lot. By income, I mean, you just need a small bit of your income if you're just one person at the moment that you could give off to an intern. You need bravery. You do need to be brave to do this. It's a big step to say, I'm actually going to scale and I'm going to take these steps, but I bet you've done something way braver in your personal life. Leadership skills. You don't need to go do a course on leadership or download something about how to be a good leader or read the book or anything like that. just go think in your life, think of one experience you've had where you've been a leader and just lean on that and give yourself that confidence and that energy. And you need flexibility. Maybe the first hire won't be your final hire. Maybe it won't work out. What happens? You need to be flexible in your thought while you're building a team. So this is the roadmap. Now I want you to feel free to screenshot everything. I'm going to go through this quickly and then I'll slow down. So when we're talking about a clear vision for your business, people go, okay, I want to make X money, and that's their vision. That vision isn't strong enough. It needs to be, what do you want your life to be? Is it, I just want to stop working Fridays? Is it, I want to stop working all summer too? Figure out what that vision is and then hire a team to help you support that vision. Because often what people do is they don't realize they've already achieved the thing. You might be able to stop working Fridays if that's what you want. This is a low cost, high value situation, but just don't rush and take the time to train them and nurture them. Something that I see all the time is they hire someone, they have been there for one day and they're like, it's not working. They don't know how to do this. That's not enough time. People are humans. You have to give them time. Map out a space, a free flowing space in your business where you can actually teach someone a whole week if you could. Then build a subcontractor system. So bringing in subcontractors can do two things. They can hire work, handle work, take work off you, or they can be a logical extension to what you do. And I want you to hear this. If you're a web designer and developer, you should have a copywriter in your subcontractor system, one copywriter that you can use all the time and you can charge out for them. This is significantly increasing the value of your business to your clients. It's a logical extension of what you do. You increase your bing, 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 money, 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 but you don't have to do any more. When you download the freebie, there's a big map that can explain how to build your subcontractor system. So please do that. And if you want to learn more, you can join Secret Artist Business. But you can hire things like copywriters, brand developers, photographers, an SEO specialist. I can think of 1,000 that web designers should have in their subcontractor system, just one person they really trust. You need to set up solid systems and automate your workflows and client processes so that an OBM or a VA can do this for you. Set up tools, scheduling, management, and then delegate, delegate, delegate. Once you've got this subcontractor system, at this point, you might have one intern, one junior designer, a subcontractor system. Make sure you are handing things off. You cannot get back to the point where you go, oh, actually, I'm just going to do this. You have to get through that hard part where you teach. And it is so important. That way you can properly give your team ownership. Choose a leader. Make them in charge of one thing. Empower them. Empower them to make decisions. Don't get angry at them when they make mistakes. We're all just people. I once left my business because I feel like when I'm saying this, people are like, oh, I could never do that. I could never do that. When I was about to give birth in the middle of COVID, a particularly stressful time to give birth, I handed the keys to my studio to a 21-year-old junior designer and a 19-year-old intern. Of course I was freaking out, but no one died. Not a single client left because everybody understood the situation that was at hand. If I hadn't done that, I would not have made $1 million this year. That just would not have happened. You have to take those risks, and those risks will pay off. If you hire properly, in the freebie that I'm going to give you, it'll explain how to hire a team properly, and you have to do it properly. Then you're going to learn to offer retainer style clients to develop a secret menu. I can't get into this in 20 minutes, but basically, even if you're a web designer or a creative and you're like, every single one of my jobs is different, I don't believe you, come to me. I'll explain to you how to develop a secret menu of services that people can just order from. I have an example of one. It's called the 1 Week Squarespace website. It is $8,000. Every one of my designers can do it in a week. If one comes in, Facebook ad, Squarespace order, a website in a week, they order it. I have 4 girls doing 4 $8,000 jobs in a week. It's very simple. I want to show you how to do that. Join Secret Artist Business. Take time off to test the system. Take 1 day, take 2 days, take 3 days. Scale slowly and sustainably, and then finally live the freedom that you've built. If you want instant relief, you're like, I do want this. I am scared, Georgia, but I've come to this circle presentation for a reason. I obviously kind of want to hire a team, but I'm kind of terrified. Intern, casual, full-time, up the ranks. This is what I have branded the intern to full-time pipeline. Universities all around the world require designers to do internships. You don't have to hire another web designer. You could hire a junior designer. They could help you with designing the front end of your website, your socials, your emails, your newsletter marketing. Intern, test you need them, test you like them. Yes, it worked great. Hey, would you like a casual job? Just for Christmas, do a Christmas casual job, a summer casual, a winter casual, a 3-month contract. If you can feed enough work to them for that small period of time, hire them on a part-time or full-time basis. Their rate will go down because casuals are paid more than full-timers and part-timers. Their rate will go down and you have your first full-time employee. And they started off costing you almost nothing and then eventually push them up the ranks. What does this look like in practice? You have your in-house team that I've spoken about a lot, your subcontractor team that I've spoken about a lot. And I just want to explain who these two women are. These are actually my big wall angels. So I know we're mainly designers here, but the purpose of this is you can pass off things that you don't even think you can. So people hire Georgia Draws a House to do murals everywhere. Visit California, Brand USA, that's Prime, Amazon Prime. I didn't even necessarily design them or install them. I have people to do that for me. So people can even do my art for me. Someone can do my art for me. Someone can build your website for you. Your bookkeepers and accountants, an OBM, an online business manager, this totally changed my life. And of course, your interns. How long does this take to feel the like, I've hired well and chilled more? Instantly, 50%. Automations make up about 5%, but they're sort of fed into everything else. But this is what I want to show you. The team. My team at Soft Launch brings in $280,000 of work. That is 35% of my business is done purely by someone else. That is not something to laugh at. What would you do if you could buy back 35% of your week right now? Would you work more and maybe you'd build a course? Maybe you'd do something else. Would you just take the time off? What would you do with 35% of your time back? Maybe you just go get a coffee every single day. What does building a team look like in practice? These are all Secret Artist Business students who I have mentored through this process. Haley, she was pregnant, she started a business and she started freaking out. Slowly over the 9 months of her pregnancy, we developed a process for her to hire a team. She hired 2 subcontractors and 1 full-timer. She went from solo to being a team of 3 so that when she went on her mat leave and she had her beautiful baby, she could choose. Does she want to put her business on ice or does she want it to keep booming? And it's the choice. That's the freedom. And that's what a team really gives you, is the freedom to choose. To choose whether you want time off when you have a baby. You can't really do these things without a team. Deb, she went from shutting down her studio. She was working by herself. She was burnt out. She was stressed. She was like, what do I need to do? I was like, you need to slow down and pass things off. She did. She went from making $0 and shutting down her studio to having $20,000 months. And she doesn't have a full-time employee. She has a beautiful subcontractor system. Belle was a very, very, very busy live illustrator, and she wanted to launch a course because she wanted to get on the course train. She knew she'd be a really, really good teacher, but she didn't have enough time to do it. So she hired an intern. They went up the full intern to full-time pipeline as a junior designer. She took off a lot of Belle's plate, her admin, her emails, even some of her illustration. So Belle had the space to build a course. She launched a course using a system that we teach in Secret Artist Business. She made $12,000 in 1 week from something she had never, ever done before. If you're interested in this and you want to learn more, there's 2 ways you can do that. First of all, go to secretartistbusiness.au and download the Freelancer to Full House playbook. This is where I deep dive into all of this stuff and you can see what's there for you. Inside are things like swipe files for job ads, resume red flags, really fun exercises to build your subcontractor system, etc., etc. Go download it. It's totally free. Go to this link. And if you want to deep dive even more, you can come and join Secret Artist Business. I would absolutely love to have you, almost as much as I've loved being here today. Of course, if you want to ask questions, please feel free to DM me. I am an open book. My Instagram is @GeorgiaDrawsAHouse. I love talking to people, especially you guys who are beautiful, creative design agency owners as well. You're amazing. Come say hi @GeorgiaDrawsAHouse. And thank you so much for having me. Bye.